pocketbook
Are
all
we
the
taxed to
time.
death?
All right, let's move
Close.
on.
I'm still alive, Alex.
We've alluded to the granddaughter gaffe, which came out. Finance Minister Joe Oliver may have stolen the show when he made the giant gaffe of suggesting that problems with the budget would be Stephen Harper's granddaughters to solve. Did Oliver just blow all the goodwill goodies that the budget had to offer right then? Ron, what do you think?
I wanted to see Amanda Lang's facial expressions when Oliver came out with that. I think it was certainly a gaffe. And, you know, saying that, well, it's not our problem now, it's going to be somebody else's problem. And good luck to them, because there's not going to be anything left in the government coffers when that happens. So
Alex, we'll give you a chance before Tara.
Well, you know, I think that expresses the true character of Conservatives, and certainly, you know, the individual that was in charge of the budget. I think that it is about passing the buck. It's not concerned with future generations, and that's not what Canada is all about. We're about leaving a legacy for future generations. I think it's very concerning that he would even make that comment.
Go ahead.
Well, I do think that he was being, glib. He was trying to make the point of, well, you know, we're making this budget for today and for the near future, tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. If there's going to be a small problem 80 years from now, then we'll let that generation deal with that problem. And he made the mistake, the terrible, tragic mistake of saying something like grandchild, the granddaughter, because we're always in politics. Yeah, he left himself open. A lot of times in politics, when, for example, I have a problem with what Kathleen Wynne is doing, I'll say she is spending and spending, and now my grandchildren are going to have to deal with that. Yeah. And so you always bring the grandkids into it, because we don't want to leave this type of terrible legacy for our future generations. And so I do think that this was a gaffe, but this will follow him. Will this hurt the government? I don't think so. Will this be used in election ads? Absolutely, I believe so.
I think, though, what's important to note here is that it's not a small blip 80 years from now. What we're talking about, in particular with the tax-free savings account, this year it will cost us $70 million in addition, but 30 years from now it's going to cost us, or whenever it hits the height of its maturity, you're looking at $30 billion a year. How are we supposed to be able to afford that?
But that's if that continues on that trajectory. But perhaps in 30 or 40 years, another government will say, no, we're actually capping
Mulcair comes in, and
what will he do? That scares the living daylights out of me.
Yeah,
it scares me that I'm going to move out of the country.
No, you won't, Ron. You'll move right beside me, and we'll drink orange juice together.
Do you think at the end of the day, the whole granddaughter terminology is something like middle class? It's just one of those, because Kathleen Wynne brought it up earlier on in the week. It's one of those things that just seem to resonate with people.
It's a buzzword.
And it was a buzzword for the opposition to jump on. Your thoughts on that?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Absolutely, but he really shouldn't have used that analogy.
No, he should have used the Prime Minister's granddaughter.
Listen how quiet it is now. You guys are out of gas. What an incredible edition of the Opinionators this has been. Not only the fun off camera, but on camera as well. What a great debate. Thank you very much to Tara Cronelli, of course, Ron Corsini.